who really was the supreme leader of Iran. Ali Khamenei Ayatollah was born on April 19, 1939 in Mashhad, Iran, as the second of 8 children to Javad Khamenei, an ethnic Azerbaijani cleric. He spent his early childhood reading widely in literature, poetry, and even began composing poetry himself at a young age. Education began at the age of 4, with Quran studies in Maktab, progressing to Mashhad Hazza under mentors like Ayatollah Milani, before moving to Qom in 1958 for classes with Ruhollah Khomeini. Came the 1960s, where his revolutionary role began. Still attending Khomeini's classes, he joined the anti-Shah activities, which saw him facing 6 arrests, torture, and 3 years exiled by Savak. Came Iran's revolution, which saw the overthrow of the Pahlavi dynasty in 1979. The revolution led to the replacement of the imperial state of Iran by the Islamic Republic of Iran, as the monarchical government of Shah Mohammad Pahlavi was superseded by Ruhollah Khomeini. The ousting of the then supreme leader, the last Shah of Iran, formally marked the end of Iran's historical monarchy. But at the end of the revolution, Khamenei emerged as a key figure serving on the Revolutionary Council as Tehran's Friday prayer leader and deputy defense minister, forging ties with the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. A 1981 bomb attack paralyzed his right arm but did not halt his ascent.
قدرت‌های خارجی بر اونها حکومت نداشته باشه. مرحوم آیت الله کاشانی چطور؟ مرحوم آیت الله کاشانی یه فرد مکتبی بود. توجه کنید.
رئیس جمهور اسلامی ایران به بیاناتشان ادامه می‌دهند. برادران و خواهران توجه فرمایید. هیچ نیرویی نمی‌تواند ملت ما را تسلیم کند. بنابراین مرگ بر امریکا.
A fiery orator in support of Khomeini, an ardent advocate of the concept of governance by religious jurists, Khamenei was among the founding members of the loyalist Islamic Republican Party. And this spirit got him to become the first candidate for the presidency, an office that had previously been off limits for clergy. But how did Ali Khamenei ascend to supreme leader in 1989 when he clearly lacked the qualification of becoming the supreme leader and succeeding Ayatollah Khomeini? Iran's 1979 constitution required the supreme leader to be a marja, the highest Shia scholarly authority, which Khamenei was not.
حالا غیر از اینکه خود من حقیقتاً لایق این مقام نیستم و این رو بنده میدونم، شاید آقایونم میدونید، من نه از لحاظ قانون اساسی و نه از لحاظ شرعی برای بسیاری از آقایون حرفم حجیت حرف رهبر رو نداره. این چه رهبری خواهد بود؟
Khomeini had previously dismissed Hossein Ali Montazeri, the designated successor, and a merger in 1989 over disputes like mishandling prisoners, leaving a leadership vacuum. No other merger fit the revolutionary mold, prompting a rethink which involves Khamenei. His name started circulating in private rooms where Khamenei deemed him eligible to succeed. June 4th, 1989, post Khomeini's death, the Assembly of Experts rejected a 3-member council, including Khamenei, then elected him acting leader with 60 to 74 votes.
رفراندوم البته این موقت دائمی نیست تا اون موقع موافق هستند قیام بفرمایید.
A July 1989 referendum amended the constitution to drop the merger clause, justified by Khomeini's posthumous letter prioritizing expertise in Islamic governance. On August 6th, Khamenei became the permanent supreme leader of Iran, and that's how Ali Khamenei Ayatollah became the supreme leader of Iran. Well, at least until the 1st of March 2026, when he was assassinated. Susan Nganga, GBS News. And back to what's currently happening in Kenya. Senator for Nairobi County, that is Honorable Edwin Watenya Sifuna, has stated on his open arms for talks and dialogue in the Orange Democratic Party. Speaking today during an interview in one of the local TV stations, Sifuna stated that his expulsion from the party was done against the law, while promising that his Linda Mwananchi team is not working with the united opposition team. Let's have a look.
I was sitting somewhere and I saw on the news the party reading resolution saying they have kicked Sifuna out of the position of SG. Nobody had told me that that was on the agenda, or that you have done this and this, come and answer for this. You know, even when they were saying in the public platforms there that I had not exhausted the internal mechanisms. The internal mechanisms of discipline, we have done this 1,000 times. They start with a letter called a notice to show cause. So they have to show you a notice to show cause, setting out my violations, because we have done this before. You remember when some of these members of parliament who went to State House early on, even them, we didn't just kick them out. We wrote a letter to them, signed by the chairperson of the party. That time it was Badi. You send somebody a notice and tell them, we are saying you have violated the Political Parties Act by advocating for the interest of another political formation. Then you are given 7 days to respond. Then you appear before the disciplinary committee. You can bring a lawyer. You can bring a lawyer of your choice. You speak. You defend yourself there. Resolutions are made. They are sent to the National Executive Committee for them to adopt. You know. Okay. So these ones, it should show you a notice to show cause when they are saying they have just initiated the process. It's not me. I am not the problem. And I am saying, as I said at Raila's funeral, I will do everything in my power to keep this party united, to keep this party together. But when you get to a place like this where somebody can stand up and just kick you out unceremoniously, then you have to ask yourself, who really is the problem here? Is Sifuna the problem, or are they the problem? Call them here on this show and ask them if they are...
And now moving forward, President William Ruto has told the Ministry of Roads and Transport to install surveillance cameras in major cities across the country. The president said this measure was aimed at introducing instant fines for motorists as well as pedestrians breaking the law. Addressing members of the National Council on the Administration of Justice when they presented a report on traffic accidents and deaths at State House Nairobi, the president regretted that it has taken too long to enforce the instant fines because of failure to install surveillance cameras. Let's take a look.
Speaking at State House, Nairobi, President William Ruto has asked Road and Transport Cabinet Secretary Davis Chirchir to ensure that the implementation and the installation of CCTV cameras in major cities is done in a month's time.
It is my position, Waziri, that within the shortest time possible, let us roll out the cameras. We've been discussing this forever, you know. When can we have the cameras on the roads, Davis?
Because of the investors program, let's give it a maximum of
1 month.
1 month. Thank you.
It has to be 1 month.
The president pointed out government efforts to leveraging digital innovations to curb corruption and introduce defensive driver certification and formalizing border operators through SACCOs. At the same time, the president said that there was need to devolve vehicle inspections for those in rural areas to access services, and here he placed the CS on task, questioning him on why the installation of CCTVs on roads is on a standstill.
We've been discussing this forever, you know. When can we have the cameras on the roads, Davis? When you leave this place, Buanadiji, go do what you have to do with the support of the minister and the Minister of Transport. Rolling out the cameras is not rocket science. We've had cameras before on the roads. So let us roll out cameras in the, is it 5 or 6 major towns in Kenya in the next 1 month.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Honorable Onesmus Kipchumba Murkomen said that the enforcement traffic rules remain key in the fight against bribery in the roads. He emphasized the need to carry out civil campaigns on traffic rules in an effort to contain road accidents.
We acknowledge truly what the Chief Justice said about integrity being a matter of great concern when it comes to enforcement. And the people of Kenya have been on our case, particularly the National Police Service, about collection of bribe by enforcement officers on the roads. We have no defense because it is the truth. It's not one of those things that you can stand here and defend, because the people of Kenya see it all the time in our roads. And in our discussion, the answer is digitization and digital enforcement. You have already guided us to have cameras under the C4 project in the 6 cities in the country. Nairobi will be ably covered, and a number of the cities, including Mombasa. Again, having cameras all over the place will make sure that these officers are held into account. In addition, having instant finding system that does not require human intervention will make sure that the instances of corruption come down.
Davis Karani for GBS News, Nairobi.
And now to the counties. Youth in Migori County have issued a stern warning to politicians who attempt to exploit them for personal gain or incite political conflict. During a gathering that brought together young people from across the county, the main agenda was to encourage the youth to remain firm and make independent decisions that will shape their future. One youth speaker urged their peers to remain non-partisan and make their own decisions so they can move forward and shape Migori's future. They also challenged politicians who incite chaos to involve their own children instead of using vulnerable youth who are seeking opportunities for empowerment.
We are so happy, and we are hoping we will be having so many connects in each and every constituency. Yeah, my urge to the youth is to be non-partisan. Let's make our decisions. We should be advised, of course, but let's make our own decisions as youths so that we may move Migori forward and shape Migori's future. Thank you.
I want also to say that to address the youth that let's not be used by politicians for their political battles. If politicians want to use the young people for their political battles, let them start with their own children. They also have children. So if they tell you to come and fight for who, let them tell them that they start with their own children. We are young, we are the young people, and we need to be empowered. And any politicians who wants to use us, let them use their own children first. So this is a great beginning, and we'll be doing more for Migori County, and together we will connect minds and shape Migori future.
And now to a heartbreaking story. At the current home of the late Mheshimiwa Johanna Ngeno, President William Ruto joined family and friends in mourning a leader remembered for his service to community, the nation, and humanity. The president offered heartfelt condolences, honoring his friend's lasting impact and encouraging the family to find strength in faith. Quoting Psalms 147 verse 3, he reminded mourners of the Lord's promise to heal the broken-hearted and bind their wounds, calling for unity, reflection, and comfort during this difficult time.
As I said, was very passionate about what he did, and he never did half measures. And when we rolled out housing, and all of you, as the vice chair of the committee has said, housing was one of the most difficult assignments that I have undertaken as president. It's one of the most difficult assignments. It has tested my resilience as a person. But the chair of that committee, the Honorable Ngeno, when I was going through the people who would chair the different committees, I settled on Ngeno because I knew if I persuaded him to do it, there would be no looking back. I am sharing this moment with you. It is a difficult moment for the family, for the people of Emurua Dikirr, and for his friends. But I want to assure you that God is in control. Nothing happens that takes God by surprise. So we will be here. God will lead us into doing the right things. Ngeno's family, his wife, is somebody I've come to know. I've been to her home in Emurua Dikirr. And I know she's explained to me what needs to be done, and it will be done, so that we can carry on the legacy of our brother Ngeno and that of the family. And to the people of Emurua Dikirr, I want to tell them that they will not be orphans. When we had this conversation, we said all the people who accompanied Ngeno, including the pilot, we will extend government support to all of them.
And as the GBS fraternity, we send our condolences to the family. And with that, it is time for us to take a short break. Keep your feedback streaming into our social media platforms at GBS TV Africa. The SMS line is always 21144. We'll be right back.
A student can transition from other curriculums, such as the Kenyan CBC curriculum, the Pearson EdXL curriculum, and the IB curriculum, to the Cambridge curriculum.
We are going to go straight to the topic of the day, which is AI in education. AI in education.
AI is called artificial intelligence. I think this is something the computer techs designed to make our life easier.
If you just write everything that's on ChatGPT, when you're going to your work or whatever you want to do, your interview, you're going to feel miserable.
We are going to use AI to show out your creativity, then that's not really you who did it, but like there's AI and there's you combined together.
AI should be just there to maybe enhance your points, but not just to generate for you the answers.
I think it's like 50-50 because sometimes it's like, yeah, you're just using it to like enhance like your creativity, and then other times it's like you're just stealing other people's ideas. You're not like really thinking.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back to the bulletin, and now for sports lovers, it's time for your most anticipated part of the bulletin, the sports news. Let's get sporty. And we begin the sports news. It was a thrilling weekend in the FKF Premier League as AFC Leopards delivered a stunning 5-1 derby victory over Shabana FC to strengthen their title push, while leaders Gor Mahia showed championship grit with led 2-1 win against Mathare United to stay top with 49 points. Elsewhere, Kenya Police FC and Moranga Seal secured important wins to boost their campaigns, keeping the title race and top 4 battle wide open.
With Sebo moving on to the left.